Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Hunter, bringing you another exciting episode of Hunting the Fish podcast. Today's video is gonna be a little bit shorter, but we're gonna try and make the best of it regardless. I'm very happy to say that it is not a great day today, but unlike the last 3 videos that I've done, it is not raining today. So when I step out at the end of the video to do the area, show you guys the view of the area where I'm at, I won't have to worry about getting wet. And of course, I'm joined by Mighty Mouse. Say hi, Damien.
Hi, Dave.
Before we get started with today's video, I would like to say Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there and to all the dads who perform dual roles. I'll be putting a special post up for a couple of the moms that are special to me at the later tonight, before the day is over. Just celebrating, the moms that are important to my life and hopefully to some of yours. Unfortunately, I will not be spending the day with my mother due to lack of finances and lack of gas. So I'm sure she will appreciate, the posts that I put up. Also, I want to let you guys know I have a few more videos that I will be doing. I'm not sure exactly how many, but it's upwards of 5 or 6 that I'll be doing near like the Broome County area and that area. And then I think after like June or July, after June into July, I'll actually be heading back out west and doing some of the Tioga County areas and some of those counties out that way. I'm also going to try to head out north before the end of the summer and try to do some of the areas out that way as well. But like I said, for the time being, we're going to keep going out this way. And as a matter of fact, now that I think about it, I think my next 3 videos are going to be done out north, but they're still going to be in Broome County. And then I have a couple videos that I want to do back in the immediate area. And then after that, I'm going to head back out west. So make sure you stay tuned for those, because those are going to be the ones, that are going to be a little bit more important to me. So with that being said, not sure how I picked this location of all places, but I decided that today's video was going to take place in the hamlet of West Corners. West Corners is very aptly titled, I should say called a hamlet because it's not big enough to be a village, and it's not significant enough to be incorporated as a city, obviously. It is located, as the name states, on the west side of the town of Union. Its population, surprisingly, is 1,653. And believe it or not, there's not that much here. It's pretty much as small as you can get as far as a hamlet in itself. I mean, you have a couple things, that are, I guess you could say, meaningful to the area. You have a couple food places. You have a church. They actually have a elementary school over here, which is surprising. But then again, when you think about it, UE High School actually has a couple of elementary schools, and then I think it has one middle school, or no, actually the middle and high school are in the same building now. But the town of Union pretty much has a elementary school, which is ironic because it, just like Binghamton, has an elementary school on all four corners of the town, north, south, east, and west. Keep it down, booger. Yeah, like I said, there's not a lot down here. This area was more significant to me back when I was a child, because we lived up in Endicott, and actually my dentist office is located down here. Other than that, I didn't really spend a lot of time in this area, just because of the fact that there wasn't really much to do. It is impressive though, because the hamlet of West Corners is located on a main highway, and the hamlet itself, it basically measures a half a mile in area. It's right off the main road of Route 26, before you head north to the town of Maine and the surrounding areas. But it is also it's also significant for being a connecting area of the very nearby Nanticoke Creek, which is another very nice area out here in the boondocks, I guess you could call it. But yeah, like I said, I'm not sure why I picked this area of all places, but I guess I'm trying to cover as much of the area as I can with the areas that I've been to, and explain their significance to my life. So as I said, this isn't a very long video, and unfortunately we have reached the part where I step out and pretty much show you guys the area. So let's see what we can look around and see. This is probably going to be the more exciting part of the video, because with the stuff that's around here, there's a lot more to talk about than the actual demographics of the area, I guess you could say. Just because each place that's actually here pretty much plays a significant role in the area itself. So, as I mentioned, this area has quite a bit more than you would expect for a hamlet. Right behind me is another Weiss, which is interesting in itself because being as such a small area, the fact that it has a grocery store is quite surprising. Street here is the famed Phil's Chicken House, a restaurant that I actually been to a few times in my life. A couple of years ago, the owner actually passed away, and there was a slight grieving process in between, but business resumed as usual, and I believe it's now the son that has taken up ownership of the business, and luckily they have not gone out of business yet, being as they're, you know, not really in the middle of nowhere, but being as they are off the beaten path, as they call it. I'm actually surprised that they have lasted as long as they did. I believe they've been around for at least 30 some years. One of these days, once, you know, I get myself going financially, I do plan on going back there. Just because when I had their food was actually really amazing. My brother worked there for a short time. I think it was there for like 4 or 5 months, and then he ended up moving out of the area. Also down here, over there, we have the wine and liquor store. That honestly doesn't surprise me, being as it is a smaller area. Obviously, you got to have one of those. Over here to the left is one of the only remaining CVS pharmacies in the Broome County area. As most of you know, CVS has gone downhill over the years, and a lot of them have closed up. I'm very glad to see that this one is still running, but unfortunately I can't say for how long. Over directly across the street from where I'm at is the only gas station in the area. It is a Speedway, little convenience store. I think the next gas station in the area is about 1.5 miles up the road, which is also a Speedway, unless you go back down 26, back into Endicott, and there is 3 gas stations on the main drag of Route 17C. Also surprising for this area, over here to my right is the Napa Auto Care Center. For as small as this area is, I am very surprised that there is a auto shop in an area so small. But then again, anything is, you know, possible in a place like this. Now, I know you guys can't really see it, but on the other side of the Speedway is one of the only other, I guess you could say, eatery type places. There is a Subway over there, and there is also the Copper Top Tavern, I believe it is. Place that I still haven't been to. It is on my to-do list eventually, and obviously it's a bar and tavern, and sometimes they have like live music and shows and stuff. On the other side of that, as I mentioned earlier, is the road that actually has my dentist office, previously mentioned. Surprisingly enough, I started going there when I was about 4 years old, and 29 years later, it's still standing down there, which is very surprising. I mean, obviously dental offices are one thing that will never go out of business, just because they are in high demand. But to know that there's one out here is, I guess you could say, pretty significant. Also behind me, I'm not sure if you guys can see that well, is the aforementioned elementary school, which actually holds the biggest piece of history that this hamlet has. The elementary school is named Linnaeus W. West, which actually was a settler, I believe back in the 1800s, who came to the area and I think resided somewhere in the area, and as a result they named the elementary school after him, and then also named the area after him as well. And then on the other side of that, the elementary school is I believe it's the Broome County Sports Association, or the soccer field. I'm not sure. Like I said, I don't really come around this area much in my older years as I did when I was a kid, which is ironic because I have a car now and I don't really come up this way. And also for the aforementioned Nanaco Creek runs down alongside the grocery store and down to the other end of the town of Union, back behind all the trees and shrubbery that basically make up the rest of the area. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got for this one. As I said, the area itself, not the most popular. It's more of people passing through onto other destinations than it is residential. Although if you go up here on Day Hollow Road, there is a lot of residential areas up that way, and then there's Glendale Road out that way that has a lot of residential areas. In between here and the other hamlet of West Endicott is actually a lot of smaller villages, or I guess they're called, but they're more of communities that basically house apartment complexes for the elderly and the low-income families that live in the area. So, with that being said, I'd like to thank you all for this very short, but very meaningful video. And we will see you on the next trip to the pond.